This is the scariest creepypasta that I've ever read. The story goes like this. A few years ago in Russia, a new drug was developed called deprivation that allowed a person to sleep only 3 hours a night. It promised increased productivity for those who took it, and it worked wonders for some people, at least at first. The drug became very popular among students trying to study or businessmen who had to work long hours, and soon the streets of Moscow were filled with advertisements for the drug. However, no one knew what the side effects would be until it was too late. People started getting addicted to it, and when they ran out, their withdrawal symptoms included seizures and psychosis. Soon enough, the government created a special police force to deal with the growing number of deranged people walking around the city. These men were armed with tranquilizers and batons and tasked with bringing the pill addicts back to the facility. But it was not all that easy because the drug had been taken by thousands upon thousands of people, including children. So instead of finding thousands of dealers, they found thousands of zombies. There are rumors that the Russian police actually used torture on these people, but we can't confirm if that's true or not. But what we do know is that the police managed to get the majority of them under control. So how did this drug affect the brains of these people? Well, let's find out. When researching this topic, we came across this thread on Reddit that seems to be the origin of the story. It was written by an anonymous user named First Last. Let's see what he said. During the waning days of communism, Soviet scientists were hard at work creating a wonder drug to help overworked citizens catch up on lost productivity. After all, every citizen was expected to work themselves to death for the glory of the state. So losing a few hours of sleep every day was not acceptable. Thus, they created a drug that only made you sleep 3 hours a day. It was marketed under the brand name deprivation. However, it seemed too good to be true, and it was. Because after a few weeks, people experienced intense withdrawal symptoms when they tried to stop taking the drug. At first, the symptoms were manageable, but within a few months it became impossible to function normally without the drug. Soviet scientists attempted to counter this problem by developing a more potent version of the drug, which only required users to take the drug once a week. Unfortunately, this had its own side effect. Where the original drug caused psychotic episodes, the new drug caused massive seizures. Soon, thousands of Soviets were seen wandering the street in a daze, not responding to anything. They didn't seem to be aggressive, just empty. To make things worse, the drug also gave people a false sense of well-being. So many people kept taking it even though they knew it was dangerous. After the fall of the USSR, the production of the drug stopped for a while, but then it began being produced illegally. Still, there was definitely something wrong with the drug. It's just hard to understand what went wrong during its development. Maybe they altered the wrong part of the brain chemistry, or maybe they just made a mistake somewhere along the line. What we do know is that the drug affected the brain's reward center. That's why the people felt so great when they took it. It also affected their emotions and impulse control. That's why they couldn't stop taking it. But perhaps the most frightening side effect was that it turned people into zombies. I'm not sure if this is a side effect of the drug itself, or if it's just an effect of how widespread the drug usage got. But it definitely added to the creepiness of the situation. I mean, imagine walking down the street and seeing hordes of zombies shambling towards you. What would you do in that scenario? Personally, I would probably faint dead away. Now, about the story from earlier. Where did it come from, and is there any truth to it? Well, it seems to have originated from this Reddit post. We don't know if it's true, but it sure sounds possible. The Russian sleep experiment has become one of the most popular creepypastas online. It has inspired countless images, videos, and stories. And I can see why it's so popular. It's a perfect combination of horror, science fiction, and dystopia. Plus, it's a cautionary tale about the dangers of playing God. I mean, who knows what kind of side effects a new drug might have? In fact, we already know that. Just look at all the drugs that have been pulled from the market because they caused birth defects or organ failure. You never know what kind of side effects a new drug will have until it's too late. Just think about all the times you've taken a medication and had to deal with nasty side effects. Now, imagine if the side effects were much worse, like turning you into a zombie. The thought is both terrifying and fascinating. But I want to know what you think. Do you believe this creepypasta? And if you could create a drug that allowed you to sleep only 3 hours a day, would you take it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We all know that the human body needs sleep. We know that it's important for our physical and mental health. But sometimes it can be difficult to get the sleep we need. Maybe you have a busy job, or maybe you're just a night owl. Whatever the reason, it can be tough to get the sleep we need. And that's where hypnotism comes in. Hypnotism is a technique that can be used to alter your state of consciousness. It's a way to access the subconscious mind and influence your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. One of the most common uses for hypnotism is to help people stop smoking or lose weight. Hypnotism has also been used to treat anxiety, depression, and other mental health conditions. In fact, a recent study published in the Journal of Affective Disorders found that hypnosis was effective in reducing symptoms of PTSD. In the study, 66 adults with chronic pain and high-trait anxiety were randomly assigned to receive either hypnosis or standard care. After 12 weeks, the participants in the hypnosis group had significantly reduced pain and anxiety levels compared to the control group. If you're interested in learning more about hypnotism, I highly recommend checking it out. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. As I was researching for this video, I came across this article on a website. I was surprised to see that the article was talking about the same drug. But the scary thing is that it seems to be based on real events. The article was written by a journalist who interviewed people who were involved in the production and distribution of the drug. According to the journalist, the drug was being sold in underground markets in Russia and Ukraine. And the scary part is that he actually tried the drug himself. He said that it made him feel like he was on top of the world. He was more productive, he was more energetic, and he felt like he could do anything. However, he soon realized that the drug was causing some strange side effects. People who took the drug became addicted to it, and they needed more and more of it to get the same effect. Some people even started to turn blue because the drug was depleting their oxygen. But despite the danger, the drug continued to be sold on the black market. And it wasn't until the journalist blew the whistle that the authorities finally stepped in and put an end to it. The scary part is that we don't know what happened to all of the people who took the drug. Did they turn blue and die? Or are they still out there walking around in a zombie-like state? I don't know about you, but I'm just glad that this drug isn't around anymore. If it was, I would be tempted to try it just to see what it was like. But I think it would be a huge mistake. I mean, who knows what kind of side effects it could have. Plus, there's no way that it would actually allow me to sleep only 3 hours a day. I need my sleep. If I don't get it, I get all twitchy and can't focus on anything. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm just glad that this drug isn't around. Because if it was, I would be tempted to try it, and that would be a big mistake. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.